Last week, there were two pro-home ownership bills that were passed. One was Bill 185, also known as Cutting Red Tape to Build More Homes Act, which is really aimed at eliminating a lot of the wasted time, wasted resources that are involved in building new homes in the province. The second one, which is the one I wanted to quickly chat about, was Bill 200, and that's the Homeowners Protection Act. This was aimed to strengthen consumer protection and homeowners. It was also intended to build additional housing and supply around transit. One of the elements that they've included in this bill, which I think was a good move, was the 10-day cool-off period for newly constructed homes. So there was always a 10-day cool-off period for pre-construction condos. If you buy a pre-construction condo, you have 10 days to think about it and back out if you want. When you're buying a newly constructed freehold home, that wasn't mandatory. It was there and some builders offered it, but it wasn't mandatory. So they've made this a mandatory rule now. But the good thing about this, they're not including it for resale homes. So there was, I guess, an attempt to include that for resale homes as well. That, I think, is a very, very positive thing, because just the thought of having that 10-day cool-off period for the number of resale transactions that happen would be, in my mind, like kind of chaotic. I mean, you don't have the same amount of transactions happening on the pre-construction, I think, or the newly built construction side as you do on the resale side. And on top of that, when you're selling pre-construction or newly constructed freehold homes, it's usually between the developer, a large developer who has resources, lawyers. They have agreements that have been drafted pretty much in their favor to protect them, and the homeowner or the buyer is not necessarily granted that same protection or that those same advantages. So having this in place to protect the buyer on a newly constructed home, I think, is a good move. I don't think that's necessary when you're dealing with a seller versus a buyer, an individual versus an individual. The playing field is level there, so I don't think that was required. So kudos for not having that part of it, that element included in the bill. But overall, I think those are two positive homeowner bills that were passed that should strengthen buyers and their position in the market.